Hey y'all, hey. I'm gonna give y'all a few moments to get in here as I do a live. I haven't done a live in a while, but I'm doing it now. So I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to get in. In the meantime, I'm gonna just say a few things. So I want to say thank you guys for supporting me, for signing up, for downloading, subscribing, all that good stuff. You guys are absolutely amazing. I have been focusing more on my podcasting because I'm trying to be more consistent in that area. And the results are showing. I am not just nationwide. My podcast isn't just coast to coast, right? Like the podcast says, coast to coast credit. It's not just coast to coast credit, it is now worldwide. So I always did have like a few people in different countries, but now officially I have regulars around the world. So I want to say thank you guys. I appreciate y'all for trusting in me. So that's what's up. Um, I do want to say that we are going to be discussing what are we discussing? We're discussing the credit bureaus being sued once again. I wanted to go into full detail. I wanted to show y'all visuals, but the reason why I did not hop on this bandwagon like other podcasters is because I needed more information. I needed to know what was really going on, how it was affecting us, how is it affecting people that are trying to fight their credit? Is it any different than any of the other times they're being sued? Probably not. But we're going to go into it. We're going to go fully into it. But now that I've spoken, I want to do my formal introduction. Hey, you guys, this is Tamiya Robles. I'm your credit expert. I am the host of my podcast, Coast to Coast Credit. I am the owner of my company, Fix My Credit Now, 850.com. I am NAREB High Desert Chapter President in Victorville, California. What's good? So let's get right into it. Now, the credit bureaus are being sued once again. In particular, it is Equifax and Experian. I will say I'm pretty surprised that it is Experian. Not like dumb surprised, but Experian is pretty much no nonsense. And if I were to like a credit bureau, I would like Experian out of the three. But yeah, there's this is normal. It's not unusual, but let me just first of all give facts. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I want to take it step by step. If you guys have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you want me to talk about something in particular, just let me know, and maybe I'll do another podcast on that. So looking at the screen, let me make sure. Okay, the setup is cool. Y'all see what I'm seeing? Great. So I did Google it. What are the credit bureaus? Are the credit bureaus being sued right now? I knew all of this. I'm just doing this for the sake of y'all, just so you know. I don't want you to be like, this is how she gets her information. Nizzle. That's not how I get all of my information. But again, I'm just doing it for you guys as a consumer because a lot of people don't understand a lot of what I'm saying, and I just want to make it as simplistic as possible. So we all Google stuff anyway. So I'm just taking it from there. So it says, yes, credit bureaus are being sued right now, including Equifax and Experian. I don't know anything about TransUnion being sued. I am aware of Equifax and Experian only being sued. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is the CFPB, has taken action against both bureaus for failing to investigate consumer disputes and for other violations of the FCRA, which means the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Now, mind you, just to let you guys know, just so we're completely transparent here, I am going to read a lot of the stuff, and then I'm going to like flip flop, and explain some stuff to you, like the FCRA, what they are, the CFPB, what that is, and I'm going to break it down to you. I'm breaking it down in simplistic terms so you guys understand the importance of this video and the importance of getting your credit fixed, because ultimately that is the end result. That's what needs to be done. So don't be surprised when you see my face flip flopping like, why does she keep doing that? That's why. All right, now with Equifax, and we're going to get into all of this. Equifax in January of 2025, which is now, the CFPB fined Equifax $15 million for failing to investigate consumer disputes. The CFPB found that Equifax ignored evidence, reinserted deleted inaccuracies, and provided confusing letters to consumers. Equifax also settled a class action suit with the FTC. We will get into what the FTC is, and other states over a 2017 data breach. We could look into that as well. Equifax paid 5.7, I'm sorry, 575 million. I'm sorry, I don't know where I got that wrong. Equifax paid 575 million as part of their settlement. That's a lot. That's huge. That's huge. And I'll tell y'all a little bit about Equifax and how they are basically have always tried to separate themselves. I told y'all this many occasions, but if you haven't seen my old videos, then you won't understand. But anywho, Experian in January 2025, which is now the CFPB. CFPB is on a mission, y'all. The CFPB sued Experian for failing to investigate consumer disputes and for violating the FCRA. The CFPB alleges that Experian conducted quote unquote sham investigations and failed to remove errors from a credit report. Experian was accused of failing to provide adequate written notice to consumers about the results of its reinvestigation. We're going to get all up into that because, as y'all know, and for those that don't know, I am what you call a factual disputer. All right. So if you sign up with me and you're trying to get your credit fixed, there's different types of credit experts. I did a podcast on that. Go check Coast to Coast Credit out and you'll see. But in a nutshell, I don't care about the backstory about how you got the negative items on your credit report. I don't care who did what to whom or whatever and whatnot. And therefore, I look at your credit report and I know that under the FCRA that certain things are supposed to be on your credit report and reported a certain way. And if it's not, then I dispute the items based off of the law. Okay. I don't care who you owe, and I don't care. It has nothing to do with that, right? And I specifically say that because clients sign up with me, they schedule a consultation, they give me the backstory, and I don't need the backstory. Unless there's fraud, unless you know for sure that somebody, is took your identity, then of course you have to tell me that because I have to handle it a certain way. But that is critical, what I just read to you, and I'll explain why in a minute. In the meantime, let's hop right back over here. Let me minimize my screen. And let's break this down. So if you don't know what the CFPB is, let me go to their website so and you can have an understanding. This is the CFPB website. Now, some credit experts everybody has like their own little explanation of what the CFPB is. So it stands for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I did a very thorough, detailed video on this. I will link all of this in the description. So in case you want to check it out, I'm not going to sit here and waste y'all time and explain in full detail and go through every single item that they deal with, right? But this is their website. Feel free to check it out. It is for the consumer. Now, some credit specialists, not so much myself, but some credit specialists look at there is one and only credit bureau, and there are no 63 credit bureaus. There's only one and one only, and that is the CFPB. I do understand where some of those experts get that from, and I respect it. I don't move that way. Some people do, some people don't. I look at them as like the police for or management for the credit bureaus. There are literally 63 credit bureaus out there. Okay. I'll leave a link in the description. But if they're not following the rules, or if you're filing disputes with them and you're not getting the results that you should be getting or expecting, or they're mistreating you or what have you, boom, I just filed a CFPB complaint, and you can do that. So I'm not going to go into details. I'm just going to click on some of the stuff so you can see some of the things. But this is the CFPB. The CFPB is kind of like the end all be all when it comes to filing, when it comes to disputes, when it comes to filing complaints against a particular business. And when you get here, you just click on, what your issues are, and it will direct you to whatever it needs to direct you to. Now, sticking solely to the situation at hand, right? Now, What I do in a lot of cases is I will follow I will file a CFPB complaint on behalf of my clients. If I know that the information that I'm providing them with when I'm disputing, okay, is it's not being moved, if it's not changed, it's not deleted, it's not nothing is being done at all, and I put in a couple rounds, I file a CFPB complaint. Okay, I showed you guys how to file a CFPB complaint. And what is going on is, well, what is supposed to happen is you file a complaint, the CFPB then they review it, they basically take your complaint, reach out to the creditor or the business that you're filing a complaint on. They have to respond to your complaint. They have 2 weeks to respond to your complaint. Okay. They can ask for more time. They can ask for an additional 30 days if need be. But whatever the case is, they have to answer to the CFPB. They no longer have to respond to you as the consumer, or if you're doing it for credit purposes, if you're a credit expert, they don't need to answer you. They need to answer the CFPB. Now, what's supposed to happen is if they do not respond within a timely manner, they're supposed to get some sort of fine. I don't know about all of that. I mean, that's what they say. But if you know me, you understand I don't trust the credit bureaus and I don't trust the CFPB, to be honest with you either. I don't trust none of these people. But you say one thing and then the next thing nothing's happening. But whatever, I digress. So here it says CFPB sues Experian for sham investigations of credit report errors. So I'm not going to read all this to you. Feel free to read it yourself. Okay. What I'm doing today is I'm going to show you the problem, but I'm also going to show you the solutions. Okay. But in a nutshell, this is confirmation. I told you I want to show you proof. I don't want you guys to sit here and take my word for it. All right. I'll read a little snippet today. The consumer or CFPB sued Experian, the nationwide consumer reporting agency, for unlawfully failing to properly investigate consumer disputes. Right. So that's what they did with Experian. All right. Now, they're going into detail when consumers disputed errors on their credit reports. Experian conducted sham investigations. All right. Again, not reading all this. Read it yourself. Educate yourself. Okay. It says CFPB alleges that Experian has violated the requirements for handling consumer disputes, conducting sham investigations. Okay, Experian uses faulty intake procedures and does not accurately convey all relevant information. Like, this isn't new. Enforcement action under the CFPB, it is the authority to take action against institutions violating consumer federal laws, blah, blah, blah. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Okay. Now, in my opinion, all right, this is nothing new. They've been doing it. Like, it's not the fact that they're doing sham investigations today. They've been doing it the whole time. And let me just give you an example. So, when I file a dispute for my client, okay, I send the dispute letters out. Then what's supposed to happen is we wait 30 days. I tell my clients they're so eager to buy a house, buy a car, get business credit, what have you. But I have to tell them we got to chill regular under the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We have to wait the respected 30 to 40 days. Okay. It was an additional 40 days or 45 days during the pandemic. You have to give them that. All right. Because you're complaining to the credit bureau and the credit bureau doesn't do investigations. They reach out to who you're complaining against and saying, listen, this person is saying that you violated, or they're complaining against you, and check it out. Right. So then that entity is supposed to respond, what have you. The problem here is they're supposed to do an investigation. They're not really doing an investigation. That's what they're saying. But they have never really been. Like, let's keep it a beam. Like, they ever? Have they ever? Because I'm filing a lot of CFPB complaints on a regular basis because I know that Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion And if you know anything about these credit bureaus, you know TransUnion is probably the most ghetto out of the three. Okay, they don't give a crap about nothing, right? And they're forever being sued. But don't try to color, again, this is just my opinion. I always file CFPB complaints inclusive of filing disputes with the credit bureaus at the same time, a lot of the cases, because I know they're not investigating. Do they ever? Like, for real? Because there's plenty of times every day, all day, when I dispute, because I'm literally disputing 7 days a week. Okay, I'm out here working, grinding. If you know me, you know. But I send out dispute letters to the credit bureaus and the CFPB, because I know the credit bureaus are not really doing their job. I get letters all the time where I send letters and I send proof and I send snippets and I send this, this, and this. This is violation. This is a violation of rights under FCRA. This is a violation of the rights under that. Look at this credit report. I'm using arrows, red lines, tape, stars, stickers, exclamation marks, and bold print, and all the things. And I send proof that your company, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, are violating the rights of this particular consumer. Investigate this and remove it. Real rap, the way I dispute, because I'm a factual disputer, people. I did a podcast on it. Go check it out. I'm not repeating myself here. All right. They're not doing their job. I know they're not going to do their job, but the way I dispute, you guys should be getting deletions off the first round, off the rip, wipe clean. And it's not happening because of what you see here, because of this crap right here. So the crazy thing is, it makes me look like an incompetent, okay, credit expert, and that's not the case. And it does, and I think personally, all of it's a setup. I truly, truly think it's set up that way, because I'm gonna do a whole other podcast. I'm gonna just make this a factual podcast, and then I'm gonna do another podcast where I'm gonna put my little tinfoil hat on and say what I think is really going on in these streets. That's what we'll do moving forward. All right, so boom. Now let's get out of this, and hopefully we're clear. Okay. The CFPB is suing Experian for sham investigations of credit reports. So Experian is out here in these streets faking the funk. Like, when you send your dispute letters, they are really actually doing an investigation, and real rap, they're not. That's what they're saying in a nutshell. Read the article. Okay. Now let's go back to here. All right, let's go back to this screen. Boom. Now that was the Experian. Now let's talk about the Equifax joint. Right now, CFPB. Let's take us to the link. Where's the link? What am I doing? All right, we'll go to this article. All right, credit agency crackdown. CFPB fines Equifax. This is not a lawsuit. This is a fine. CFPB fines Equifax for damaging credit report errors. That's wild. Okay, that's mad wild. If you want to look into this a little further, this website is fortune.com. Go check it out. All right, so let's take a quick look at the article. You can listen to the article. It's great. So if you don't know how to read, press play. Hopefully you know how to see. Click it. If not, get somebody to help you. All right, now, I'm not reading all this. It's a good read. Read it yourself or listen, okay? But it's not mad long, so that's great. What they're saying is extending a burst of activity before the new Trump administration takes office. The consumer, or CFPB, has taken aim at bad behavior at another credit reporting agency. Today, it has taken action against Equifax, citing the firm for violations of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. I'm going to talk to you about what the FCRA is. Don't worry about it. Levying a $15 million fine against the credit bureau. Yeah, that part. The CFPB cited a wide variety of violations ranging from failure to investigate, and correct credit report errors, failure to inform the customers of investigation results, and selling inaccurate credit report scores. That's wild crazy. So they're selling inaccurate credit report scores. So hold up, Linda. Hold on. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that real fast. All right. If you can't figure out how that is a problem, let me paint you a picture. Okay. I am a credit expert. I've been fixing credit out in these streets for quite some time. And if you know my story, you understand why I started off because I needed to get a house. I needed to stop paying so much rent that I needed a crib, right? Now, fast forward, about 90% of my clients are in that same boat. I deal with referral partners that are mortgage lenders, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, lenders, brokers, whatever have you. People within the industry come to me to fix their client's credit report as quickly as possible so they can get pre-approved for a mortgage. It's not that deep. How I dispute is not that hard. But we rely on the system. And I hate, if you know me, you know I hate relying on any government. I hate relying on anything other than myself to keep it all the way. But now we got to rely on these people to do their job, right? But to sit here and say, y'all got this job to do, review, investigate, and return the results, and you're not doing that, or if you are doing that, how you're doing it is you're selling inaccurate information. So you're hurting us. You're hurting us. You're intentionally hurting the consumer. I can't wait to do another podcast on what I think is really going down in these credit streets real rap. Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm going to keep it a beam. So I'm trying so hard to stick to the facts, but that's wild crazy. Experian is selling inaccurate credit scores. So that means if you're trying to get a home, they're not really looking at and you're getting rejected. More than likely, that's not really your credit score. So if you know for a fact that you've been paying your bills on time, you know for a fact that you've been paying down your credit. I got a client now who has her history of payments are almost perfect. But why is she in the 500s? How come she got money she pays on time, but she's in the 500s? Make it make sense, because I'm analyzing her credit report with my eyeballs, and I'm like, all right, I kind of see why you have a score, but it's so low, but it shouldn't be this low, given the nature of their situation, right? I noticed a lot of people, it's questionable. Now we know why. They're selling fake information. What is the okay? All right, let's keep on with the story. So, failure to inform the customers of the investigation results. Let me explain that. By law, under the FCRA, which again, we can go over this once again. I've done podcasts and videos on this numerous times. When you file a complaint, meaning you're filing a dispute against your items that are on your credit report to the credit bureaus, right? You have to give them 30 days to respond, but how they respond is they have to respond to you in writing. A lot of the times they act like they don't know who you are. They'll be like, hey, your name is Jane Doe. Hey, Jane Doe that lives at 123 Main Street in somewhere, California. We don't know who you are. We see that you're trying to file a dispute, but we don't know who you are. So because we don't know who you are, we're not responding to your dispute. Even though they clearly know who you are because they're mailing it to your house and it has your name on it and your address on it, it's still a response to your dispute. Okay? What that is called is a stall letter. They are allowed to give you a stall letter. Stall letters are totally okay to give under the FCRA because at least they responded, right? It's not the response that you wanted. You were expecting results within 30 days. I get it, but they gave you something. right? Another common thing that you'll get is verified. Verified. You filed a dispute and then they got the information. They allegedly, according to this, they're not really doing it, but they're doing these little investigations. And the result of the investigation is boom, the information that is on your credit report has already been verified. Therefore, R2, we're not removing the information from your credit report. Thanks. Try again next time with more information. Again, that's fine. It's standard. I have to tell my clients all the time when they're angry, like, hey, why isn't this removed? Blah, blah, blah. It's just another form of a stall letter. It is to say that they've responded to you. If they do not respond to you within 30 after 30 days, then you can sue them for not responding to you. And this is why we're here. This is why we're having this problem. Because people are speaking out, I guess. I'm assuming they're speaking out. But that is why when you file a CFPB complaint, they must be getting so many complaints that it's triggering for the CFPB to do something about it. So the CFPB is for the consumer, is for y'all. So y'all need to exercise this entity. Okay, because clearly they're about that life if they're suing for $575 million. If you're getting a $15 million fine, if there are class action suits, they're about the consumer, allegedly. Okay, we're going to go with that. So that is a problem. So for them to sit here and say that the consumers, let me blow it up, that the failure to inform consumer investigation results, that is a major problem because too, what if you did get deletions? Usually they tell you, but what if you did get deletions and you're not being told you're getting deletions? You are on a deadline to purchase a home. You're trying to close. You gave yourself a respected maybe 4 to 6 month window to fix your credit. And it could have probably been fixed within 2 months. And they're lying. They're giving you fake information. They're not really doing an investigation. They're selling information. Like, come on, son. This is affecting you. This is affecting your client. This is crazy. Like, you guys should be upset. Like, I'm upset for y'all if you're not upset like that. I'll be upset for you, right? Now, it says this action follows the agency's lawsuit against Experian announced earlier this week for similar issues. So like Equifax and Experian. So one got sued or is getting sued, and the other bureau is getting fined. So all they gotta do is pay the $15 million fine, and then they go away. I don't know what's up with that, right? It said the agency found out that Equifax ignored consumer documents and evidence. That's what I'm saying. Like the letters I give out to these bureaus, I'm giving evidence. Like I've shown y'all, I'll show y'all again. I'll bring up a dispute letter and I'll show you, I'll block out the person's information, but I take snippets of your credit report from Experian, from Equifax, from TransUnion, and I put it in the dispute letter. And I'm like, listen, this violates the FCRA. This violates this under the FCRA. This is another violation. And what they're saying is Equifax is ignoring it. They're ignoring it. And that's why, this is why you guys are not getting the scores you're supposed to be getting as quickly and all that. And therefore, boom, boom, boom. There you go. That's it right there. Now, let's see what they say on how you can protect yourself, because I'll tell you how to protect yourself because I'm sure it ain't this. But anyway, what can you do to protect your credit? Credit reports are used for more than just getting a loan. Having errors on your credit report could not only prevent you from taking out a new credit card, but also interfere with getting a job or a new apartment. Duh. Duh. We know that, right? All right. Blah, blah, blah. Lending tree and author of something, blah, blah, blah. Okay. There's little in life that's more expensive than having credit. It can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. We already know that. This is not helping. Consumers will find it much easier to fix errors in their credit report before they escalate and cause real problems. Here's what you can do to protect yourself. Sorry, I wasted your time. They didn't need to tell us about the other dude. Keep an eye on your credit report. We know that. File dispute if necessary. We know that. That's not helping us. All right, then. So that is their crappy way of telling you how to fix the problem. Again, I'm going to do another episode where I say what is really going on in these credit streets right now. But that worthless information is not what you do when they're being sued. Now, before I tell y'all the solution, let me go into explaining what the FCRA is just mad quickly. So I'm gonna Google it for y'all. Okay, so I can give you the actual facts. Okay, what is the FCRA? Now, the FCRA law, I have, because I'm a factual disputer, I live and die by the FCRA. Okay, the rules that are in place under the FCRA. And I'm going to let you know now, I'm Googling it, but the laws are so long. I have tried for years to get all of the laws. I think I got it one time and then I think I lost it. It was in PDF somewhere. I don't know, but it's a lot. So you always, if you ever look up, if you're looking for something in particular pertaining to the FCRA and any particular law, you have to specify it. Other than that, you'll get like snippets. I don't know if you can see the side of my screen here, but you'll see snippets of parts of the FCRA, but you don't get the whole. It's very hard to get the whole doctrine, right? So anyway, what is the FCRA? The FCRA is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, is a federal law that protects consumers, that's you guys, personal information, and regulates credit reporting agencies. CRA is the credit reporting agency. So a CRA, again, if you see the word, the abbreviated version, CRA, credit reporting agencies. So there are 63 credit reporting agencies. What you guys are most familiar with are Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Some of you guys that know a little something might know about Innovis. Haven't heard them in a long time, but Innovis. Okay. Those that know a little bit more, you might know about LexisNexis. You might know about SageStream. You might know about the check systems. Those are actually credit bureaus. Surprise. All right, now. So when you see CRA, I'm just letting you know, when you see CRA, that is the credit reporting agencies. The FCRA is basically a federal law, like they're saying, and it regulates the agencies, so they're not wilding and getting out of hand. So the FCRA was enacted in 1970 and has been updated several times since then. That's what you need to focus on. Again, excuse me for putting on my tinfoil kufi, but that's what you need to pay attention to when they're telling you we update these things, and you're saying you're updating the law regularly. Really? How do we find out about that? Who's approving that? Who's signing off on it? You understand? Be involved, people. Be involved. But anyway, what does the FCRA do? It protects the consumer. So this is about y'all, us, me too. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, let me blow that up for you. So it's supposed to regulate these entities to make sure that they are following the patterns and the laws and the rules to accommodate the consumer. All right. So this, I fall under, no, I don't fall under. So the credit bureaus fall under the FCRA, and then the main one is the CFPB. What they do is that's who you report to if they're not following the laws or the FCRA or the laws under the FCRA. So they all work together with each other. Okay. Now regulates CRAs. The FCRA regulates how the CRAs collect, use, and share consumer information. I need to tell you guys this so you have a clear understanding of how to fight, especially if you are disputing on your own. As opposed to just blindly disputing, you have to understand who does what and why. don't look at an abbreviation and be like, oh, that's some government stuff. No, it's saying CRAs. That means all of us. That's all of the 63 credit bureaus. Okay. All right. You need to know CFPB. CFPB, you complain to the CFPB when the CRAs aren't doing their job. All right. The FCRA. The FCRA is a law, it's a federal law. All right. So the CRAs need to follow the FCRA, right? And if they violate the FCRA, then we're going to report them to the CFPB. You follow me? Like, hopefully. And then I come in as a credit expert and I fight on your behalf as the consumer, right? Maybe I should do another episode, but like the more I talk to y'all, the more I'm like, you know what, let me do a podcast. Like there's them, there's this, and then there's me. I'll do that. I haven't done a PowerPoint in a while, but I'll do it for y'all just to give you a visual, just so it's claro. I don't want y'all confused. All right. But these are all the things that's taking place that help, are supposed to help have things done correctly. And we all have to follow. And then we have the CROA Act. I'm hooked y'all up with that. CROA Act, it basically regulates how credit experts such as myself are supposed to, you know, act and be professionals, right? So we have to follow that. All right, now let's get into it. I'm gonna wrap this up because I want to give you guys a solution to this here. All right, so it gives consumer rights, protects against identity theft, which is great. What does the FCRA apply to? Credit reports, employment background checks, people. So if you're not getting that job, might want to check your own background. All right. I'm just saying. Consumer inventory reports, information used to elevate eligibility for credit, insurance, and employment, certain government licenses and benefits, child support determinations. That's why I have to get credit, child support off people's credit reports. Okay. It's a thing. It's a thing. And who is affected by the FCRA? Consumers, credit reporting agencies, businesses that use consumer reports, such as banks, credit card companies, and employers. This is mad important, yeah. This is super duper important. Now, let's wrap this up with a solution. I don't like just coming to y'all with complaints. I don't like just coming to y'all just saying, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. Every problem has a solution, right? So what is the solution? In my opinion, now is the time to get your credit fixed. And I got to do another live because my trusted second VP found out some information about getting a whole bunch of deletions, okay, and taking advantage of this opportunity. And you should. So I'm gonna do a video on her because that was cool. I just want to do my investigation first. Now is the time. It's always the time when you hear or find out that the bureaus are being sued. Get your credit fixed. Why? Because they will erase things like it's nobody's business. That bankruptcy that y'all swear is going to take a year to remove. I would file, in my opinion, one dispute letter and only had a bankruptcy 1 year, because you also get better results the less accounts you have on a dispute letter. A little side note, man, I would put that bankruptcy on there and dispute. Boom. Oh, who's being sued? How much? Especially a $575 million lawsuit. Man, please put all my stuff up there. You know what I'm saying? Fix my name, my address, my employer, all that. I want a clean slate. I don't even want to be part of your nut ass class action suit. Clean my credit report now. It's funny, but it's not funny. I'm serious. Like, anytime they have a lawsuit, anytime there's a class action suit going on, you want to make sure that you file a dispute. Tell your clients, hey, you weren't approved because you had this such and such on there, and I know you're trying to be cheap and lazy and wait it out. That's not the way. So what I just found out, Tamiya from fixmycreditnow50.com, she's an amazing credit expert. She suggested that now is the time to for sure go ahead and fix your credit. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead, because they're being sued. Now, when they get sued, they don't want no smoke. They don't want any problems. So that is why it's good to go ahead and dispute, get your credit cleaned up. I told y'all around the holidays is the best time. After summer vacation is a great time to dispute. I do my credit fix and blitz around that time, but also when it's a lawsuit like this. Okay. Now that's typically, I'll say, with TransUnion and TransUnion and Experian. Do it with Equifax as well. However, I'm gonna tell you now, if you don't know already, Equifax has always been a problem child of the three credit bureaus. So one weird thing that they did, and I noticed that Equifax did this too. This is the first time I saw them ever do this during a lawsuit. However, Equifax, if whenever they have a lawsuit and you're filing a dispute, sometimes when you try to update it, they wipe out your credit report, not in a good way. They blank it out so that you won't have a score. You won't have, and if you do, it might be 0 or a 1. There's no such thing as a credit score of 1. Okay, just so you know. You'll think, oh wow, everything got erased from Equifax. That's not the case. They do this weird thing where now they want to act like they care about you and your security. So they'll say, oh, you know what? We don't know who you are. And allegedly you're trying to dispute. So give us a call and upload your ID, upload your social security number, verify your address with us with proof that you live at this address, and then we'll release the information. So just be aware that that's what they do. It's not you. They didn't clean your credit. It's just they give you an extra headache and it's an extra nightmare. If you're under like Smart Credit, I'm partnered with Smart Credit, Identity IQ, some of these third party companies, they go the extra step to be an asshole and make it difficult for you as a consumer. So what they'll do is, even if it's not you directly, they kind of like pause their contract with these third party entities and they won't release this information until you give them a call and give them your photo ID, give them your social security card, give them some sort of information that is verifying that's who you are. It's a bunch of crap. Just go through the motions to get it done and over with. I really don't like giving the credit bureaus a social security card because they don't need your social security card. They need the last 4 of your social security number and that's it. But just go with the flow. I mean, they already have your information anyway. They just can't show it, but they don't need your social security card. But that is my solution. Go tell your clients, tell your friends, tell your family. All right. Go ahead. And those hacks that I do, that I did tell you about, I paid $2,500. Okay. During the pandemic, for someone to text me a short sentences, by the way, of an Experian hack, $2,400 or $2,500. I think I paid $2,400 for 4 sentences, right? Listen, the hacks still work. I gave it to y'all for free. Now is the time. Hack away, people. Hack away. Also, you might want to be careful, though, of fraud. People contacting you saying they're part of the investigation team of the Equifax and Experian and all that. No, that's not true. That didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be any other scams. There's going to be scams. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just the industry. It is what it is. But if you know me, you love me, you respect me, you follow me, you download me, you check me out, I'm probably the most honest credit expert you'll ever come across in your life. Okay? Do it yourself. If you want to do it yourself, go to my do it right. Get the right letters. I have them on my website. Go to fixmycreditnow850.com. Definitely take care of the PI, which is personal information. Make sure that's knocked out. But just check out my free stuff, right? Download some of my information, my letters, pay for it. I stopped having my letters being free after the holidays, and I told y'all so. Some of y'all listened, some of you didn't, but it's a business. Stop coming to me for some free shit. All right, this is a business. All right, it's a business. So yes, my services, there's a fee, there's a charge. So if you don't want to do it yourself, it's totally okay. Schedule a free consultation with me. Let's talk about it. If you are affected by this, go to the CFPB, go to that website, and they will tell you you'll probably be part of a class action suit, and you might want to hop on that. I'm gonna be honest with you, the dollar amount of those class action suits are usually, if you do get it, probably like a couple dollars. I mean, literally, like enough for some gas, maybe in your car. All right, maybe, but still, be part of it, because hopefully the more you guys sue and the more you complain with the CFPB, the more it forces the credit bureaus to change their ways slowly but surely. It's a slow process. I know it's a tedious process. I know you guys are like, I don't really care. I'm just trying to get this house. I'm trying to get this car. I don't care. I get it. But even after you get your house and car, like, think of your future. You might want to get another house. You might want to get an investment property. Maybe you don't want to use your own money for the investment property. Maybe you want to keep getting loans for your investment property. Maybe you want to do a Toro business or whatever, if that's still going on. I haven't done Toro in so long, but think about that. Don't just be like, oh, I ain't doing this crap, I don't have to. Just do it. Utilize these services that are given to you. I don't like the people. I don't trust the government. I don't like all of that, but this is what we have to deal with. So we either play ball or shut up and deal with it. All right. Hopefully this helped. Hopefully. I am going to do a follow-up. I am going to do another video of what I think is really going down in these streets, in these credit streets. And real rap, I'm gonna just give you a tidbit right now. I think the fires have a lot to do with it. That's going on in California. I know I sound crazy and I don't care. I'll explain myself in another podcast. All right. I think the fires have something to do with it. I think the crazy weather has something to do with it. I think the homeless epidemic, I think all of this has something to do. And you're like, hey, Tamiya, what does that have to do with credit? It has everything to do with the credit. It has everything to do with the economy. Okay. I think it has everything to do with the fact that they keep changing the rules under the credit scoring systems, right? I think if they make things difficult for people, it keeps you poor. So if you're kept poor, then poor people actually make rich people rich. That makes you have to work harder. That makes you have to get multiple jobs instead of one. That makes it difficult for you to financially do whatever you need to do. Now, you're talking about the fire. I'm talking about the fires, right? Okay, boom. You know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for my conspiracy theory episode. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's the fact. So hopefully that helps you guys. Go ahead, tell your people, tell your family members, go right now, schedule your free consultation with me, even if we just got to work out a plan, all right, on what to do. But get your credit fixed now, because what they're going to do is they're going to eventually going to let this die down. And once it dies down, they're not going to get the results, because they're going to think you forgot about this lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Now this is the topic of conversation. It's been a topic of conversation for quite some time, right? Well, I'm saying quite some time, but it's a new year, but let's say at least a week and a half. All right. Time goes by like this. Most consumers forget things. Don't forget things, because now the next topic, they're going to give you something to distract you. Oh my gosh, did you see that what this is going on over here? And now you're distracted and you don't file disputes. Get on that bandwagon. Fix your credit. Make sure your client's credit is fixed up so they can get a house ASAP. Now's the time, because you're going to get some good ass results. You're going to get results that are so good, like it's not going to take something that would take like 6 months, might take 2 months. Something that might take 4 months might take 2 months, a couple weeks, whatever. You follow my drift. Go get your credit fixed. All right. Hopefully that helps. Be on the lookout. Check out my podcast, Coast to Coast Credit. I will probably rant a little better over there. But if you have any questions or concerns, definitely hit me up. Those that know me personally, just call me. If you need help, my referral partners, you got my number. Y'all got my personal number. Call me and I can structure up something, fix something for your clients that will encourage them. If you need to know what should you say to your clients, or those that didn't sign up for credit so they could get pre-approved for a mortgage. Maybe they just had doubts or they didn't believe. Get them people over, because you're going to get fast results right now. Okay. So handle it. I am done talking. I will let y'all go. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, download, schedule your consultation with me. And I wish you guys the best of luck on your credit journey. I will talk to y'all soon.